always nice to have those options as blocks and a strap. If anybody has questions throughout class, you can feel free to drop them in the comment box. But we are going to get started. Let's start sitting on our mat cross-legged. And just gently close your eyes and start to breathe. As you start to breathe, I want you to settle into your space of calmness, starting to connect mind to body. And the best way to do that is to concentrate on your breath. When we're feeling flighty or feeling all over the place, when we connect breath with our body, we tend to be able to settle in, lessen any kind of anxiety we might be experiencing, and start to feel the oxygen enter the bloodstream, invigorating us, opening us up, and making space. Closing the eyes. If you're just joining us, we're just starting with a little bit of meditation. Begin to breathe and settle in. As you're taking these breaths, I want you to think of taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So as you breathe in through the nose, seal your lips. And every time you exhale, open those lips, let the breath go, begin to settle in. Elongating your spine as you're sitting, building posture from the start of class all the way through to the finish. Think of your head pulling up to the ceiling as your tailbone pulls down to the earth. Letting your shoulders creep down away from the ears if you're feeling them scrunched up. We're trying to release stress, release tension. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Maybe you're pressing your tongue to the back of your teeth or the roof of your mouth. Begin to release that and let it go. Together, let's release all the air out of our body through the mouth. Release everything out, everything old, everything stale. Seal your lips. Begin to breathe in through the nose, filling up the chest, feel the belly expand. I want you to take the biggest breath in through the nose as you can. Hold it at the top. Open the mouth, exhale, release, let go of anything you don't want to carry with you for the rest of your day, through class, etc. Let's do that again. Seal your lips. Begin to inhale through the nose. Fill all the way up. Once you get to the top, hold for a moment. Sip in 1 more ounce of air. Open the mouth, exhale, release, let go. Good. Gently blink open the eyes if they're closed. Take your palms out to the side. Inhale your arms up overhead. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. As you sit up and elongate through the spine, on the next exhale, twist open to your right. Right arm goes behind you, left hand to the top of the thigh, gaze over the back, right shoulder. Gentle twist, nothing too deep to start. We're going to continue twisting and balancing throughout class. So let's start off gentle, getting the spine warmed up. Inhale, come back to center, arms up overhead. Exhale, opposite side, left arm behind, right arm to the front and top of the left thigh. Twist, look over the back, left shoulder. Keep your hips facing forward. Feel the twist only through the spine. Keep your glutes glued to the mat, so we're not lifting up as we twist. Only go as far as what feels good on the spine. Inhale, come back through center. Continuing on, exhale to the right, twist open. Maybe you go a millimeter deeper this time. Feeling yourself warming up through your spine, getting that mobility. We speed up just a little. Inhale, overhead to center. Exhale, twist open to your left. Twist, twist, twist. See where you can go here. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale to the right. Little deeper each time. Getting a little mobility. Inhale through the center. Arms overhead. Exhale to the left. Twist. Inhale through center. One more each side. Exhale to the right. Deeper each time. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Hands clasped up overhead. Palms pressed together. If this isn't feasible for your shoulders, keep them separated. Shoulders are dropping down from the ears. Keep your palms together if you can, and bend the elbows. Bring the palms to the nape of the neck, the back of the head. Prayer hands to the back of the head. Bring your chin to your chest and start to curl forward. Curl through the belly. Pull your navel in. Chin's tucking in. Don't put a bunch of pressure on the neck. Just feel that opening in the shoulders. Now begin to separate your elbows. See how much you can open them away from each other. Keep the chin tucked to protect the neck. Inhale, come back up. Leave the hands where they are. Push your chest forward. Head goes back, gaze up. Seated cat-cow with prayer hands, what we're doing here. So if you know cat-cow, we're thinking inhale, press open. Exhale, let's arch forward. Elbows come in, tuck forward. Inhale, gaze up. Open the shoulder, open the elbows, gaze is up. Chest is pressing out, still seated. Exhale, arch, crunch in. And inhale one last time, up and open the elbows apart. Mobility in the spine. And then exhale, arms up overhead and come through heart center. Good. Bring your hands to your thighs. Bring your chin to your chest. Shoulders come down and away from the ears. Begin to bring your chin to the right shoulder. Then rock it over to the left shoulder. Back and forth, right to left. Getting a little mobility in your neck. Good. Pause in the center. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Roll out the neck. Back of the head meets the spine. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin comes to chest. Continue on, rolling in one direction for now. Take it at a pace that feels good. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up. Continue to roll out your neck. Shoulders are relaxed. Maybe you find a spot that feels a little tight and tense. You can hold there for a moment. Next time your chin comes back to your chest, hold there. Take a breath. On the exhale, let's go opposite direction. Left ear, left shoulder. Back of the head meets the spine. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin comes to chest. Continue on again at your pace. See what feels good here. If you have anything that feels like you need to work it out, your tightness in your neck, pause in that moment. And then continue on. Go around one more time. And next time your chin meets the chest, hold there, clasp your hands behind your back. And then start to lift your arms away from, so keep your arms straight, lift them away from your back. Keep your chin to your chest for that nice stretch. Maybe you just go a little, maybe you can really push up. Try and keep your spine long, don't be crunching forward. Keep your spine long, press away. Hold it there for 4. See if you can press a little further for 3. Keeping the chin tucked for 2. And release on the 1. Shake out the arms. Go ahead and move forward and come to all fours. As we're in all fours, toes can be tucked. Think of your hips sitting over the knees. Shoulders are over elbows, which are over wrists. Palms are nice and wide. Moving into a seated or a standing cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly down. Lift the gaze up. Point the tailbone to the sky. Press away from your mat. Shoulders away from the ears. That should feel good. Make it active. Exhale, arch the spine, press away from your mat, tuck the tailbone in. Navel pulls into spine toward the sky. Feel the shoulder blades separate. Inhale, gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, arch the spine, cat pose. Inhale up. Exhale, arch. Continue on at your pace once again. Maybe you want to slow it down. Maybe it feels good to speed it up. See what feels good in your spine. Getting that mobility, getting the opening. We're building, setting up for postures later in class. Do one more of each at your pace here. And once you're through, meet me at a neutral spine in your cat-cow. Anytime you're in a neutral spine, we don't want the belly just hanging down. We want to keep the spine nice and long. Think of your head pulling forward, gaze is down. On your next inhale, reach your right arm to the sky and gaze up with it. If this isn't feasible, you can tuck your hand behind your head and just twist slightly, or you can keep your gaze down if it bothers your neck. As you're lifting up, see how much you can really rotate open. Feel the shoulder open, feel the spine rotate. And on the exhale, thread the needle, right arm behind the left. Bring your right cheek to the mat, or bring your forehead to the mat if you want a deeper stretch, rolling your chest onto your bicep. Left arm can come long, or you can find a bind behind the low back and get a double stretch here. As you're here, start to press your chest down towards your bicep. Really feel that stretch on the outside of the deltoid on the right arm. Take 2 more breaths here. Make them deep inhales. See if you can press a little deeper on your exhale, making space. If your arm's behind the back, bring it down and underneath the left shoulder. On your next inhale, press yourself back up where you were, twist open, right arm to the sky. Exhale, drop the right palm down. On the next inhale, left arm comes up, reach and twist open, same thing. Gaze is up. If that's too difficult or not good on the shoulders, bring the hand behind the head. Maybe the gaze stays down, either one. But feel that nice twist to the spine, mid to low back. Reach and exhale, thread the needle, left arm behind the right arm. Bring that left cheek to the mat or bring your forehead to the mat. Reach the right arm long, or the right arm can tuck for a half bind behind the back. Same thing on this side. The more you press your chest into that bicep, the more deltoid stretch you're going to get. Take 2 more deep breaths in here. Nice deep breaths out, releasing. Once you finish your last breath, if your arm is tucked, bring it back underneath the right shoulder. Press into the right palm, inhale, gaze all the way back up, twist where you were to start. And exhale, left arm comes down. Moving into some balancing work. Take your left arm, reach forward, gaze stays down like you're shaking someone's hand in front of you. Palms facing in, thumb to the ceiling. Maybe you stay here. Begin to kick out the right foot. So left arm, right foot, find balance here. When you're in this, don't let yourself slouch. Pull the navel into the spine, kick the heel back, feel the glute ignite. Maybe you bring your heel 1 inch higher. Feel that glute really begin to ignite. Feel the heat begin to build in your body. Breathe wherever you are. Good. 1 inch higher everywhere, 1. And come down, everything back to the mat to all 4s. Moving into the other side, right arm goes long. You're shaking someone's hand, so your thumb is toward the ceiling, gaze stays down, pull navel to spine, kick the left foot back. As you're here, don't arch through the spine, but use the glute and just bring the heel up 1 inch higher. Make sure the hand is in alignment with the shoulder. Breathe. Flexing that foot like you're kicking through the back wall, 1 inch higher for 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything comes down. Bring your knees wide, sit your hips back. Come into a child's pose. Hips are sitting to the heels. Bring your forehead to the mat. Reach your arms long. Give yourself 2 deep breaths in your child's pose. Good. On your next inhale, walk your hands back towards you. Come back up. Meet me in all 4s. As you're in all 4s, we're going to do this one more time, but we're going to do it a little different. Adding on, this is going to be a little more difficult as we move into balance and strength here. So go to whatever level you'd like. You can go back to where we were, starting here. Left arm comes out. Then begin to kick the right leg out. If you want more, bring your left arm out to the side and balance. If you want even more, parallel your right leg out and align it with the hip. Good, balance for 4. Right leg's kicking out to the side this time for 3, 2. Everything comes down on the 1, breathe. Good. You should feel that really strengthening the arm that's holding you up. You should feel strength in the shoulders. And then also the leg that's kicking out to the side. You're building that mobility and that strength. This time, inhale, right leg or right arm comes out. Hold it here. You can stay here or kick the left leg out. Remember to pull the navel to spine. Then rotate the right arm out to the side. Maybe you stay here or add on the left leg. See how high you can get it? Or maybe you put it on the mat even. See where you can go for 4, 3, 2. Everything down on the 1, knees wide. Hips go back to heels, arms long, child's pose. Breathe in your child's pose. Deep breath in through your mouth or in through your nose. Out through the mouth, let it go. Good. One more breath. And exhale it out. Good. Shift yourself forward back to all 4s. We're going to go into our toe stretch. I love stretching the feet. This is one of the most important stretches because we forget about our feet, especially if you stand all day or you're a runner. So tuck your toes underneath. Make sure all 10 toes are there. Knees are together and sit your hips back to your heels. So you can just stay here and get a great toe stretch. If you want more, sit yourself up tall. As you're sitting here, you're going to feel this really ignite. Your toes are going to start to feel on fire, and that's a good thing. We're cutting off circulation down to the rest of your toes. And what we're going to do is once we come out of that, the blood's going to flush through, and it's going to help your circulation. It's going to get all the old, stale stuff out and keep you circulating. So holding here. Another option is if it's too much, you can always put a block or a pillow underneath your glutes. And that's going to help take a little pressure off those toes. So there's a couple options on that. And yes, you're going to feel this really ignite. So start to feel and breathe. Try and sit with this. This can be a difficult thing, is to try not to fidget when you're in this toe pose. So I want you to close your eyes and breathe. Concentrate on your breath. When there's something we don't like or something uncomfortable in life, we tend to hone in on it and concentrate on it. Instead, I want you to come into your breath. Think about the oxygen entering the body through the nose. Think about it spreading all the way through the body, through the bloodstream, invigorating us. And every exhale, I want you to think of releasing. And think of everything stale and old in your body going away. Take one more breath. On the exhale, come forward. All 4s. This is where you get that release. Untuck the toes, tap the tops of your feet to the mat. Gently, and you're going to feel that nice opening, that blood flushes through. It actually is really good to cut off circulation to parts of the body for a little bit and then let that blood flow through. Doing an opposite stretch, keep the tops of the feet on the mat, sit your hips back. You can stay here for an ankle stretch and a toe stretch. If you want more, bring your hands behind you. If you want even more, bring your knees up. You might hear some snap, crackle, pops like I just did. Felt really good. You can stay here. If you want to balance, bring your hands to your knees. Or bring your arms out in front of you, or you can find prayer hands. Bring your arms up. Find whatever works for you. Again, if you're in this position, this can get intense as well. 2 more breaths. And on your exhale, if your hands are up, bring them down first. Let your knees come down. Press yourself forward. Come to all 4s. Lift your ankles and roll them out. Good. Moving through that one more time, we're going to add a couple things on to each of them. Go ahead and tuck those toes. Do the same thing. Sit your hips back onto your heels, putting pressure on the toes. Make sure all 10 toes are tucked, knees are together. If you want more, sit yourself up or put a block underneath your glutes behind the ankles. Staying here, Same thing. Think of sitting up tall. Think of posture in your body. Think of breath coming in. Letting go of the discomfort you feel in your toes. Go past that. You're mentally capable of going above and beyond the things that make us have pains and aches. We concentrate on. Let's concentrate on the positive, the blood, the oxygen, the things that are invigorating us. If you want to turn this into a balancing pose, you can bring your hands down and bring your knees up. And maybe you balance here. You can bring just your tips of your fingers. You could also put a block here to put pressure. Or you can bring your hands to heart center and try and balance for a toe stand. So if you're in this balancing posture and you're falling over, it's okay. You're allowed to laugh and get back up. The main thing is to think of squeezing everything into the midline, finding balance. Anytime we're in balance, you'll hear me say it a million times today. If you ignite the core, you're going to feel balance just come together. Squeezing everything in. Squeeze your arms together, squeeze your palms together, legs together. If you're up, bring yourself back down to the original toe stand or toe tuck. Bring your hands down, untuck the toes, tap the tops of the feet. Feel that release. Take note of how it felt the second time. Did the intensity kind of go away a little bit, or was it harder for you? Moving into an opposite stretch. Same thing, tops of the feet are now on the mat. Sit your hips back, you can stay here. If you want more, sit up. Bring the hands back. Bring your knees up. You can balance. Another posture you could go into if you want even more intensity, bring your hands forward and tuck your knees in towards your forehead. 4, 3, breathe for 2, and 1. Slowly come out of the posture you're in. Bring your hands forward. All fours, roll up the ankles. Nice deep stretches there. Good. When we're ready here, tuck the toes, press your hips high, down dog. When we're in down dog, make sure your palms are nice and wide. Put pressure between the thumb and the index finger. Think of your ears being framed by the biceps. Feet are about hips width distance apart. And start to breathe in this posture. If you're feeling tightness in the back of the legs, start with your knees bent. Make sure your head's hanging. Don't be trying to hold your head up. Let the head hang. If you want to start with the knees bent, that's fine. Maybe you pedal out and straighten one leg and then the other, feeling the backs of the legs slowly begin to open. The closer your feet are to your hands, it'll be an easier stretch. The further they're out, the deeper. Pedaling, pedaling. Good. Find stillness in your down dog. Take your left hand, reach for the right ankle. If you have access to the right ankle, touching there. If not, reach for your knee or take your right hand to your left hip, or excuse me, your left hand to your right hip. Just finding some balance here. Pull your navel into your spine. Good. Bring your left hand back down. Finding your down dog. Right arm comes up and back. Reach for your ankle, maybe your knee or your hip. Find what's accessible to you and reach. This is strengthening the left arm and you're finding balance. Good. Breathe and right hand comes down, down dog. On your next inhale, gaze goes forward. Slowly walk your hands, your feet to your hands, the top of the mat. Once you're there, Ragdoll Pose. Keep your feet about hips width distance apart. Bend through the knees as you're in your first Ragdoll here. Let your head hang heavy, arms are hanging heavy. Maybe you sway left to right. You can grab opposite elbows if you want a little more traction in the spine. You can shake your head left to right, yes and no. If you want a shoulder opener, take your hands, clasp them behind the low back. Let them fall over the back of the head. Feel that nice shoulder opener. Again, wavering left to right. You should feel good in the spine. Just give yourself a moment here. Let the head hang.
We tend to try and hold our head up. If your hands are clasped behind the back, let them come back down. Moving into a gorilla pose here. Taking your hands, Tadasana, grabbing underneath with the balls of the feet. So take the palms and just stand on them with your balls of your feet. Your toes are touching the back of the wrists. If this is too deep for you, just take your fingertips and go under the toes. Keep that bend in the knees still. Wherever you are, start to kind of rock back and forward. Don't go too far. You will feel yourself somersault and you won't be able to do anything about it. If you get in that position, tuck and roll. Head is hanging heavy. Find yourself in stillness in this gorilla pose. Let your elbows just bend and hang. If you want more, begin to straighten the legs and pull your forehead towards your knees, towards your shins. Let the elbows stay bent. This is a full gorilla pose. This is if you have the flexibility to straighten the legs. If not, stay where you are. As long as you're feeling a nice release, that's all you want. Good, release yourself. Palms come out from underneath the feet. Take your left hand and go underneath between your feet, just slightly forward underneath the chest. On your next inhale, reach up to the sky with your right hand, kind of like we did in the beginning of class when we were on all fours. If this isn't as accessible to you, try to start to bend the left knee as you straighten the right. Feel that nice opening of the IT band. If not, just keep both knees bent. Or this is where you could put a block or books. So as you reach up with the right hand, think of bending the left leg, straightening the right, feel that opening. Your gaze can be down if it's better on the neck. On your next exhale, come through center, right palm comes down. Inhale, left arm comes up. This time we straighten the left leg, bend the right. Same thing, or keep both knees bent. Or like we did in the beginning, you keep your hand behind the head. Find the layer that works for you. If you have the left leg straightened and the right knee bent, you're gonna feel that really big opening through the IT band. The outside iliotibial band runs on the outside of the left hip. Next exhale, come back through center. Hang like a ragdoll. Let your knees be bent slightly. We're gonna slowly roll up. At my count, let your head be the last thing to roll up. We're gonna roll up like we're going through honey, nice and slow. On your inhale, start to roll. Let your arms hang for 4. Straightening the spine for 3. Let your head be the last thing for 2. Shoulders come up and back on the 1. Stand up nice and tall. Find your Tadasana mountain pose. Anytime you're in mountain pose, bring your big toes to touch. Bring your hands out by your sides. Shoulders come down and back. Think of shoulder blades slightly pinching together. Tuck your chin in slightly like you're pressing against a wall. Tuck your tailbone. Whenever we're in Tadasana pose, some people just kind of stand there. You might just think, oh, it's a resting pose, but we want to make Tadasana active. Invigorate your body. Take each toe mound and dig it into your mat. As you're here, think of pulling your top of your head to the ceiling so your spine is elongating. Think of your tailbone pulling to the earth and tucking under. Palms are facing forward, thumbs are rolling back, pinkies roll forward, sit up nice and tall. Last thing is lift your kneecaps up and feel your quads ignite. Good, now rock yourself slightly back and forth. Feel strength in your body as you do this. If somebody came up and pushed you, you wouldn't be able to fall over. You've got strength, your quads are ignited. Take a deep breath in here. Open mouth, exhale, let go. Good. On the next inhale, arms come up overhead. As you're here, shoulders drop down. On the exhale, twist open to your right. Left arm comes to the front of the room, right arm comes back. Twist open. As you're here, notice that my hips are staying forward to the front of the room. The only thing twisting is to the midline. So pull your left hip back, pull your right hip forward, just twist through the spine. Gaze can be back if it feels okay on the neck. Reach in opposition with your arms. On the next inhale, come back through center, arms up overhead. Exhale, opposite side, left arm comes back, reach with the right hand forward. Remember this time now, right hip's pulling back, left hip's pulling forward. We don't want to be doing this. So only twist as deep as you can until your hips start to turn. Maybe it's just halfway. Good, breathe. On your next inhale, come back through center. One more time each side. Exhale, twist open to the right. We're going to do a balancing posture soon, and this is setting us up for that. Thinking of twisting deeply. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, open to the left. Pull the left hip forward, right hip goes back. Gaze at the back left hand. Inhale through center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe. Good. Take some more mobility through the spine. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, lean over to your right. So you can keep your hands separated or bring your right hand down to your right thigh. You might go slightly, you might really start to slide and open. When you're in this posture, you tend to come forward. Think of rolling the shoulder open and back. Gaze up past the left armpit. If you can see the ceiling past the armpit, that means you're doing well. If you're not able to see it, that means you're leaning too far forward. So think of really reaching. Feel that left side body opener. Top of the left hip all the way to the tips of the left fingers. Feel that. Feel the weight in the feet. Try not to crunch in toward the arches of the feet. Put weight on the outside knife edge portion of the foot. On your next inhale, come back through center. Exhale over to the left. Rainbow over, reach for the left side of the room. Same thing this time. Gaze up past the right arm. Make sure you can see up past the arm to the ceiling. Maybe your hand is creeping down a little deeper to the left side. Weight in the feet, pushing the right hip out to the right side of the room. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath here. Open mouth, exhale. On the next inhale, arms come back up overhead. On the exhale, back bend. Bring your hands to the low back, that flat part where your sacrum is, and start to press your hips forward, gaze is up. Elongate through the front of the body. You want to keep the front of the body nice and open, but make sure you're igniting the muscles as well. Keep the legs straight. Pull your elbows and squeeze them together. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, hands to heart. Doing that one more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Elongate the spine. Exhale over to your right. Right arm can come down the thigh. Left arm reaches for the right side of the room. See if you can go a little deeper this time. Gaze up past the left armpit. Just for one breath. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale over to the left. Reach over. Gaze up past the right arm. Inhale, come back up through center. This time move right into your back bend. Exhale, you can either cactus the arms, press the hips forward, or find that nice low back grasp with your hands to the sacrum. Options are open. And on your next inhale, come back through center. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your feet about hips width distance apart, Ragdoll Pose. This should feel good on the spine after the back bends and twists. Slight bend in the knees, let the head hang heavy, arms hang heavy. Feel traction in the spine. Wavering left to right. If you want that shoulder opener again, clasp the hands, let them fall over the nape of the neck and back. Breathe. Good, release your hands. Let the arms hang heavy. We're gonna slowly roll up like we did prior. Let the head be the last thing. Moving slowly, inhale for 4. Arms are dangling for 3. Coming up, let the head be the last thing in 2. Shoulders roll down and back on the 1. Good. Shake it out, release. Wonderful. So we're gonna do some standing balancing work.
This is where you have an option for your strap if you want. Not everybody will need it. I'll give lots of options on what to go through here and what you can do. So just in case, you could use a belt, a towel, a scarf. You can always just have it around your neck or by your feet in case you need it. First, we'll start off on tree pose, and we're gonna build from there. Taking weight into the left, you won't need the strap for this first one. Taking weight into the left foot, bend the right knee. Options here, you can take and kickstand your foot to the inside of the left ankle. You can move up to the calf. Make sure we are not on the knee joint wherever you are, because we're gonna be pressing our foot into the inner thigh or inner calf. So you don't want to press on the joint. If you want more, come all the way up to the inner thigh. Press your foot in there. And make sure your knee is rolling open and back to the back of the room. Feel that nice opener in the hip. If you want more and a more ankle opener, take the top of your foot for hot tree pose. Tuck it in that crevice on your left thigh. Then your knee is pointing down. Sit up nice and tall. Hands can be at heart center. Or you can open your arms, grow your branches. You can do prayer hands behind the neck like we started out. All things we've opened up. When you're in this posture, if your foot's on your inner thigh, ignite your left kneecap, feeling it lift toward the ceiling and press your foot to the inner thigh. If your foot's on the top of your thigh, press your knee toward the earth and back. Again, also igniting that left knee. If you're working on balance, you could try closing your eyes or come to the ball of your left foot, lift yourself up. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. Nice deep breaths in, feel the chest expand. Nice exhales out through the mouth. Good, staying right here. We're gonna slowly come out of this. Bring your right foot down, shake it out. Shake out the left leg. Moving right into the other side. Take your right foot down this time. Left foot can come to the inner kickstand to the ankle. Move up to the calf. Go over and above the knee joint if you want. If you're here again, remember lift the right kneecap, press your left foot in. Now we got the Duke dog with us, doing a down dog for you. If you want to do more, you can take the top of your foot and put it where we were on the other side and do your hot tree pose. Tuck it into that right hip crease. Press the top of your foot into your mat. Make sure you're not letting yourself arch to the spine on this one. It's easy to do, tuck the tailbone in, pull in the navel. Same thing here, whatever you'd like to do with your arms. The other option is to close your eyes or balance on the ball of your foot. Challenge yourself where you need. A couple more deep breaths. Nice open mouth exhales. One more time. And exhale out. Good, go ahead and release out of the area in. Good, just shake out the legs. This is where we're gonna move into our next posture. I'm gonna go step by step with you. You can take it as deep as you want. Taking your strap, if you have it, you may need it this time. If you wanna try and go a little longer. Left foot takes the weight, bend the right knee. Take your hands and clasp them to the front of your right knee. Flex your right foot. You can roll out your ankle here if you want, since we've been doing a lot of standing on it. Sit up nice and tall. So you notice I'm not crunching forward. We're nice and tall in alignment. Flex that right foot. Now take your foot and you can start to lengthen it out. And then reach for your right toe with your left hand. This is where you could use a strap. So you can be there, or you could use your strap and use your left hand if you can't reach your toe and straighten. Then take your right arm and stretch and twist open to the back of the room, pulling your left foot towards your midline. So right arm is back, right leg is extended, left arm is reaching for the big toe, or you have your strap. Flex your foot, kicking in. Remember, if you're falling, it's okay. Get back right where you were. You're allowed to laugh at yourself. For 4, 3, 2. Now when you come out, come back through center.
Bend your knee. If you have a strap, remove it. Come where you were, hands on the front of the knee. Straighten up, and then come down. Anytime we come out of balancing work, we want to come out the way we came in. That's building those stabilizer muscles. So you're slowly building strength in that. We don't want to just flounder out, right? So moving into the other side, see what your layer will be. It could be completely different on this side. Right foot takes the weight, left knee bends. Again, you may stay here. Another option is if you want, you can keep your right hand on your knee and twist open with the knee bent. That's an option right there. Or straighten and grab the right foot. You can use your strap. Left arm goes back and twist. Pulling your foot toward the midline with the right hand. Left arm goes back for 4. Remember to breathe through this. For 3. You've got 2. We're coming out how we came in on the 1. Bend the knee if it's straight. Come back through center. Grab the front of the knee. And slowly come out with control. Good. Shake it out. Wonderful, guys. So nice standing balancing work. Some nice twists that you kind of built your spine up for. So that should feel really good. Go ahead and take your arms up overhead. Inhale. On the exhale, find a little back bend here. Same thing, you can cactus your arms or bring your hands to your low back. Feel the spine open after you were doing twists. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, forward fold. Hang here, Ragdoll Pose. Feet separate. Moving into grabbing your peace fingers, take them to the insides of your big toes. Knees are bent here. Your torso is laying on your front of your thighs. As you're in this, your elbows are coming out to the sides of the room, and pull up on your toes as your toes pull down. Feel your scapula, your shoulder blades will separate. Let your head hang. As you're pulling up, pull as hard as you can with your elbows bent. And you're gonna feel that muscle in the back between those shoulder blades really stabilize. Be sure your head is hanging. You don't wanna hold it up. That's just gonna strain your neck. And release. Good. Keep your fingers on your toes. This time, if you want, you can start to straighten your legs. Keeping a hold of your peace fingers, do the same thing. Push down on those peace fingers. Pull your elbows out to the sides. Head is hanging. Pull up as your toes squeeze down. Stabilizers engaged. And release. Release your hands out. Bring your feet a little wider than hips width distance. Come to a 45-degree angle with your feet. And we're gonna sit into Malasana Squat. Options here. Malasana Squat, your hips are coming down, palms come to heart center. If you can't get that deep, completely fine and completely normal, you can put a block, a pillow, or anything you'd like underneath of you to sit on, or come to the balls of your feet and find balance here. So those are some options. Some people's ankles don't have that mobility or the depth in your hips, all completely normal, so find a depth that works. If you're all the way deep and your elbows are on the insides of your thighs, press your palms together and press your elbows into your thighs. Sit up as tall as you can with the spine. Deep breath in, opening the hips, maybe waver left to right. Big breath out. Good. Just feeling that nice opening. Bring your hands in front of you. Walk yourself forward. Meet me in all fours. We're gonna do some more hip openers. Once you're in all fours, moving into single frog leg. Where we are here is take your left leg out to the side, kind of like we did when we were on all fours earlier, but your foot's gonna be on the ground. Put your foot flat if you can, and start to slide out. As you slide, notice my right knee is still bent, and the heel is going on in toward the midline. So the arch of your foot on the right side is down like a frog leg. The left leg is long. Stay right there. I'm just going to show you from the front in case you can't tell. So notice as you slide, this foot comes down. This leg is long. And we're making sure our hips are in alignment with the knee.
We don't want to be all the way forward. If you want a little more, keep sliding open. Maybe you come to your forearms. Make sure your hips are sitting toward the back of the room so you're staying in alignment. Breathe in this posture. It can be very deep. You can make it as deep as you want or as light as you want. Take 3 more deep breaths. Feel that opening. This is where you can have blankets under your knees as well. 1 more big deep breath. Nice big exhale. Now remember, we got to come out of what we go into. So if we're down on our palms or on our elbows, come up to your palms. If you're coming out, slowly wiggle your foot back in toward the midline. Come back to all fours. Bend both knees. Good. Moving into the other side. Same thing. This time, right leg goes out. We're going to slide. Slide, slide, slide. And remember, look at my hips are in alignment with my knees. I'm not way up here trying to do this. We're back. See how this side feels. Remember, the arch of the left foot stays down like a frog foot. Right leg is long. Maybe you're on your forearms. Breathe in this posture. Feel the inner thighs opening. You've got this for 3 more breaths. When you take those breaths, make them nice and deep. Oxygenate your blood so it goes to those muscles. You open everything up. Good. When you're ready on that last breath, begin to come up slowly. Take yourself all the way up. Good. Moving into a full frog pose from here. We're going to do the same thing, but both knees are going to stay bent here. And think of your heels falling in and the arches of your feet going to the mat. So as you're here, both knees stay bent this time. Again, same thing. Think of the hips staying in alignment with the knees. Knees are at about a 90-degree bend. You can stay here or you can come to your forearms. Just make sure we're not way up here laying on our belly. That doesn't do as much. We want to stay active in this. If you have really, really nice flexibility, you might be able to open all the way up and lay like that, but make sure you're staying in alignment. Remember to flex your feet. That protects the knees. So think of frog legs behind you. I'm going to leave you here for a few more breaths. Again, don't concentrate on what's making you uncomfortable. You want to learn to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you're clenching your jaw, release. We don't want to move tension from one area back to another. Your whole body should be releasing and opening. One more deep breath. Stay for the exhale. Good. We're going to slowly walk ourselves up and in. Sit your hips back to your heels. Find yourself in a child's pose. And bring your arms out long, forehead to the mat. Give yourself a moment and breathe. Good. Slowly walk your hands up. Come back to all fours. Sit your hips back. Bring your legs out in front of you. Bend your knees. Bring your hands behind you and windshield wiper the legs. Left to right. One leg in and out. That should feel good after those deep hip openers. Good. Coming out with your legs in front of you. We're going to open up the hips a little more. So you can open up so your heels stay on your mat. Bring yourself open and V your legs. Flex your feet. Sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to show you guys a couple of things here. What not to do and what you should be doing to really start to build flexibility on your inner thighs. Feet should always stay flexed. That's going to help you build flexibility, and it's also going to help protect the knees. Anytime we're coming forward, we're working our way down to a full pancake pose, which is going to be your chest onto the earth. Now, the more you do this, you will get there eventually, but it obviously takes time. A big thing people tend to do is reach like this and try and reach. And what they're doing is arching through the spine. They're not getting anything out of the stretch. I want you to sit up tall, shoulders down and back. Press your chest toward the earth. As you press the chest forward, you're going to feel that opening in the thighs. You're going to probably feel it hold you back from wanting to go, but that's where we start and we move through that. Every time you take a deep breath in, come up slightly, and on the exhale, start to melt a little deeper, even if it's a millimeter. Continue to do that, breathing. I'm just showing you from the side. Notice my back here as I come forward, compared to if I'm just trying to reach. You're not going to feel anything here. You're straining your neck, you're arching your spine. We're reaching forward. You could put a pillow or a block here. Remember your toes stay flexed. Eventually coming to pancake pose, which is your chest to the mat. You can get here. I used to not be able to do it. As long as you work on your flexibility, take classes, you're going to eventually get there. As you feel your inner thighs open, breathe. Try not to let your hips lift off the mat. You can take it nice and slow as you come into this posture. One more breath. Stay for your exhale. And begin to walk yourself up. Good. Bring your legs together. Bend the knees. Hands behind you. Same thing, windshield wiper the knees, left to right. Good. Now should feel good with all those hip openers we just did. One last hip opener here. We're going to take our feet and bring them together. As you're sitting in this posture, this is a nice hip opener, but you can make it as deep as you want. If your heels are closer to yourself, it's going to be harder. If you have them further away, it's going to be a little easier to bend forward. When we're bending forward into this posture, I want you to do the same way I just told you on the last one, which is keeping our spine straight to start. So I'm going to have my heels in nice and close, feet are together, grab onto your toes, sit up tall, almost like you're pulling your chest through your biceps. Sitting up here, start to pull your chest forward. Eventually you're going to come all the way and your forehead can meet the mat. That's your option, is sitting up tall. Once you're tall, option is to fold forward. Now, if you can't keep your spine long when doing that and you go back to this, that's not where we want to be. Sit up tall and pull. Your other option is if your feet are close to you, push them out, sit up tall and pull yourself forward. You're going to go a little deeper if the feet are further away. And then you can slowly work toward bringing your feet in. Over time, you build the flexibility. Good, slowly come up if you're down. Take your hands on the outside of your knees, fold your knees like a book, feet are flat. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, I want you to this time arch your back. Roll down one vertebrae at a time until you come all the way down. Let your head be the last thing to come. And we're on our back. Bring both knees into the chest. Separate the knees, pull them toward the armpits. Rock left to right. Get a nice low back massage. Good. Take your right leg, cross it over the left. You can stay here or you can do a double bind and double cross it over, whatever works for you. Bring your arms out to cactus arms. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, let your knees fall over to the left. Keep your right shoulder down. As soon as that right shoulder wants to come up like this, you've gone too far, bring your knees up. We're working on spinal twists here. This is a supine twist. We're working on the low back, mid back. Gaze is off to the right. Again, if it's too much, keep your knees here and just do a slight, let the knees fall over just slightly. We just want those shoulders down.
Take another deep breath. Stay for your exhale. On your next inhale, come back through center. Unwind your knees, legs straight up to the sky. Flex your feet, roll out the ankles. Good, stay right here for a moment. You'll feel the blood start to rush from your feet down. We're giving the heart a rest. Anytime you're in anything upside down, the blood is flushing opposite that it's normally used to. So when you do this pose, this is great. You can do it up a wall. It's a great way to lower blood pressure, relax the body. It's great for anxiety. Give yourself a moment. Good, now take the left leg, cross it over the right. You can do that single bind, or you can wrap all the way around the right leg. Arms are cactused out, pull your knees in toward your chest, and fall over to the right as far as you can until that left shoulder wants to come up. Supine twist. Breathe. All the twists we've done today are super detoxifying. Think of pressing on your internal organs, getting out all the old garbage, releasing. You want to drink lots of water today. It's going to flush out everything, all the toxins. One more breath. On your next inhale, come back through center. Unwind the legs, legs up to the ceiling. You can stay right here or let your legs fall to a V and open up. Let gravity pull on your feet. Feel the inner thigh stretch. Then bend your knees, happy baby. Grab onto the bottoms of your feet, the outside, the inside, the big toes. If it's not accessible, grab your ankles or behind the knees. Rock left to right, giving yourself one more massage since you were doing all those twists. Release your feet or whatever you're holding on to. Bring both knees into your chest. Press your forehead towards your knees. Curl into a little ball. Big breath in. And on the exhale, release, elongate, Shavasana pose, your most important pose of the day. Arms come by the sides, feet fall out openly. Tuck your chin slightly in toward your chest to elongate your neck. Tuck your tailbone under, trying to get the flat part of your back down. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, crunching your eyes, pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Let all that go. As you lay in this space, make it yours. See how you feel now compared to when you sat down and first started the class. Take some breaths. I'll bring you back in just a couple minutes. Allow yourself to be here. Breathe. You're always welcome to continue in your Shavasana, of course. If you're ready to come up back into the world, begin to roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists. Massage your head, moving your head back and forth, left to right. Keeping your eyes closed. Bring your arms up overhead.
Begin to reach as your toes reach in opposite directions, pulling your body apart from the midline. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Big breath in. On the exhale, roll onto your left or right side, staying there for a moment. And begin to press yourself up to a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Bowing your head. I want you to think over your practice, the things you were able to let go of, new areas in your body you may have been able to open. Hopefully feeling nice and relaxed and finding mental clarity for the rest of your day. Feel strong, feel gratitude. Bring your thumbs up to third eye center, a space of intuition, space of open-mindedness, open-minded with ourselves, open-minded to one another. Bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, my name's Andrea. You can put them in the comment box.